Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I got you updates on what's going on with the storm system. Matter of fact, some information has just changed. I want to make sure y'all have everything before we go into the night. So what I'm going to do in this video is speak a little bit slower. That way everybody knows exactly what's going on during the time. Nobody's confused because there's going to be winds, there's going to be a lot of hail, and the chances for the tornadoes still exist. Matter of fact, that has grown even more. Now you can see this time up here on the top left. This is Central Time. That way you can see exactly what's going on as I read out what's going on with these storm systems, because it has upgraded. For today, matter of fact, you do have the chances for significant tornadoes right in the region that we were speaking of these very strong cells that is pushing through. Matter of fact, you can see the hail cores. It's been hitting at western Kansas and western Nebraska all day long. Once you get around 3 and 4, it's been showing these strong cells popping up as it goes through Kansas and Nebraska, and it does raise up quickly, then quickly dissipates. As you go from 4 and almost 5 o'clock in the morning, you can see the hail cores, strong storms building, but they chew through all the lift and all the cape very fast, and it becomes a damaging wind event after that pretty quickly. Could get a spin up of a tornado. That is still possible in that area. You also have the chances for the significant hail as well. So let me go through what you have in the south first, because the south is going to go through rather quickly and be done with rather fast. So you do have these storm cells still brewing up as you go through 11 o'clock tonight. You see the chances for the hail, even large hail right there. When you have all that white, after that is going to be some black. That's showing chances for large hail to pass through. So be aware of that as that comes through for 11 o'clock tonight. Pushes to the east and stays pretty strong all the way through it. There it is at midnight, passing by Abilene and Davidson. Still chances for some hail cores to drop down in those storm cells. But look how it weakens down from 1 o'clock and pushes east. Everything else starts weakening down, even as it goes across Oklahoma. Everything comes across pretty weak. And what you have is you have some regular rain storms coming down, and you get a rain-cooled environment. And that really lowers your instability and it stabilizes your atmosphere. So your thunderstorms really lose their growth. Same thing that happens up here on the Central Plains. As you get in those cells that move through after that, when you get those ones that move through later on for this evening, around 4 o'clock is where it shows. It's been showing later and later. After it eats up all the instability, you get some regular thunderstorms and you get a rain-cooled environment, and it eats up all the left of the cape that's for these storms to grow. So you can see as you're going through about 4 a.m., you have it going through Wyoming. Wyoming is really at a pivot point, getting some snow as well. But you can also see for South Dakota that as this pivot point comes out, you are getting a lot of winds. As a matter of fact, you're getting a lot of 50 miles per hour wind gusts pushing out as this line continues to push out. And when it goes for tomorrow, it's going to raise up to 60 to 70 plus miles per hour winds. But you do see after you go through 4 o'clock in the morning that all this comes through nocturnal. So you have these storms coming through. It done ate up all the lift, all the cape, but it's still thundering. And as soon as you get that daytime heating, that is going to spark up again. But just going through the significant areas, because you can see the whole area is just huge and widespread. You even have that enhanced feature for over here for North Carolina as you start to get them storms. So as you go almost till midnight, these storms start brewing up around 11 o'clock, 11:30, all the way to midnight. For Virginia, for Maryland, for Delaware, a little bit of North Carolina as these storm cells push through, bringing you chances for hail, also bringing you chances for some winds to come with that. It is predicted to have some strong winds gusting through as you get in those storm systems. And this is for tonight. Pretty much all these storms are going to be late night for everybody. It is going to be nocturnal. It is going to be late. So it's going to keep a lot of y'all up, unfortunately. So as we go through what's brewing up for tonight and what is actually going to happen for tomorrow. So you can see the latest update, the new information that come out. You have significant hail in this region. I will go through this so you can check out your timing. You also have still your chances for your significant tornadoes. EF 2 or greater strength can happen. I still see some strong cells. I will go through them. But the chance for the hurricane force winds, gone. Today and tomorrow, it can come back. I did see some very strong winds, so I'll go through that with you, the information after this. I just want to be slow with this so you can see exactly what comes through out of this information. So as you go to for midnight, this is where the storms keep moving north towards North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, even going towards Wisconsin for tomorrow. But these storm cells are pushing the 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. And as you go through for tomorrow evening, it raises up towards 50 to 60, even pockets of 70 in some areas. But what you have for your chances for your hail and your tornadoes, still showing it's the bottom of that tail whip. So as you go through 4 o'clock for tomorrow afternoon, you see these storm cells start pushing through. You get some hail cores in there. It's not really big in nature. Now, it's not hail cores all over the place. But you can see how it does get some hail cores in this line of storms as that pushes to the east. And it does bow out, bring you that big wide area of 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour wind gusts. So I want to make sure y'all are really alert to that, because this is really going to be a significant wind event. Like I said earlier, I really believe it will. Look at this bowing out that's coming in the storm as you go through for Wednesday morning. Once again, you're going to be overnight. So your chances for your significant tornadoes, and I'll show you the other tornadoes as well. For tomorrow, as this line of storms push through, you still have where not only these hail cores, and this pushes through, you can see the hail cores, but you still have where this atmosphere still re-energizes itself after this pushes to the east. And you can see this, it still re-energizes itself, and those cells grow back, and it follows it. Look how it follows it with all of these hail cores and the damaging winds by the time you go to 2 o'clock for Wednesday morning. But watch as you go through the evening. You see how these cells start congealing together back into the atmosphere, trying to get itself back, trying to strengthen itself right back up after it done eaten up everything with this frontline storm. So we still have it for eastern Iowa, northern Missouri, western Illinois for your best chance to get those tornadoes. Also on the bottom of this tail of this storm cell as it comes through for tomorrow night. That's going to be your best chance for your biggest tornadoes potential. Not saying you're going to get any of them. I hope nobody gets any of them. That's just your biggest potential out of that. But you still have the winds. You still have the damage and hail that's going to be coming in this area all evening long, all the way until Wednesday still. You still have the section for Wednesday. This is where this is going north. This is where the storm system is headed north, bringing all these winds to y'all. I will show you. But the bowing out right here, the bowing feature keeps going through Wednesday and brings these storm cells all the way from Tennessee, all the way through Michigan, all the way to the UP of Michigan, that big bowing out feature in that. That's all 50 and almost 60 miles per hour wind gusts. 50 to high 50s on the lower end, 60s to high 60s on the northern end. A very powerful storm as that brews through also for Wednesday. Not showing any chances that'll be for any tornadoes or any of that for Indiana. I know Indiana and everybody over there was wondering what they're going to get for Wednesday. I'm not showing any of that being tornadic. I'm showing it be damaging winds. You might get a little bit of hail. I think it'll be a smaller of a hail threat. It's just going to be a big system though as it pushes out. And look how big the system is as it pushes all the way out with all of the winds. Look at this. You got all of these winds coming all the way around. So on this bottom section, you got the 40s. In the middle section, you got the 50s. And on this northern section, you got the 60s. It is altogether a very powerful storm. And you can see this when you look at the bowing out feature in that as that pushes to the east. You see how it weakens greatly for the Wednesday. So the today and tomorrow is your best chance for those tornadoes. And you can see how that line of storms do brew right back up after you get hit once with those straight line storms. So far it's still showing the same information as earlier. We still have the threat for those big tornadoes afterwards. And then it's going to turn into a big bowing out feature with that damage and winds. I'm showing the damage and winds still is going to be a big part of it. And we still have for Thursday for those large hail, the damage and winds potential coming with that next system that I told you about earlier. Still showing that Thursday is going to be a big event for large hail. Multiple states potentially seeing large hail. That could raise up for Thursday, because it's showing some of Missouri, it's showing Texas, it's showing some of Louisiana, some Oklahoma, Arkansas. It's a little sporadic in nature, but we need to watch it. That is going to be next. And not to mention, at that time, that's when we get in this cold front, and it's going to stay around all the way for the weekend also. Matter of fact, one of the worrying features is when you look at NATOcast and you look at the update, they're showing that it could update again to a moderate section for tomorrow for your chance for tornadoes for northern Missouri, eastern Iowa, going to northwestern Illinois. But look at the winds that really start to add up, even stronger. Showing all the way to late tonight, all the way to early in the morning. You're going to have a lot of 50 miles per hour wind gusts, even getting 60 in there. Higher elevations of Rocky Mountains getting all the way towards some 70. But look how it's pushing northern with the 50, 60, even getting 70. All that brown in there, that's 70 miles per hour. That's a quick, strong storm cell as this big rotating atmosphere is headed to the north. And as you go overnight into the early morning hours, then for Tuesday, look how it still brings the 40 and the 50 miles per hour wind gusts. The 50 is starting to slack down. Remember, you're not catching up with the instability no more. It's surpassing it. And all the stronger winds is on the northern side. You get a lot of 60s and 70s in there. Still showing the highest is over 90. That's going to be isolated in nature. But showing these cells as headed northern are going to be strong. And showing you best chances for hail. You updraft Felicity all night long to early in the morning. Those cells passing through Kansas and Nebraska and some for South Dakota. And as you go through for tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon, it really raises up for northern half of Missouri, going through Iowa, northern Iowa, the strongest, the biggest hail, southwestern Wisconsin, northwestern and northern Illinois. The best chance to get hail in these two pockets for large hail. Even some over here for northern Texas. This is going to be first. But it is bringing a nice swath of 1 to 2 inches. Also, this is going to bring a little bit of flash flooding. It does put y'all into the marginal. That's about it. Some ponding on the roads. Just be aware of that. And some good news on this cold blast. You look at your latest update, you can see it does still come in, but it's not as deep as it was. So it's not going to be as deep with the colder temperatures. Even what I saw in National Weather Service, they retracted back on your cold temperature anomaly. And this is what you can expect as you go through Thursday morning. You have the 20s starting to move in through the Rocky Mountains, through the northwest. And this is after the severe weather event. Now, it is bringing those wind chills. It's going to be putting you somewhere around the single digits for the higher elevations, but really cold through Canada. As you go through Friday, it's going to come down again, but it didn't come all the way deep. You see that? It's only going to be in the 40s for y'all, but it is going to be in the 20s for the upper Midwest, and you still got the wind chills coming through, putting a little bit more of y'all into the single digits now, even the single digits and negative wind chills moving through the higher elevations. Be aware of that. This is your wind chills. Now, as you go through Saturday, here it comes again, but once again, it's not going too deep. Remember, it did retract back. But you still got the freezing temperatures. You still got the wind chills that's coming with this. This is for Saturday. And for Sunday, it's going to come down again. Still going to keep y'all into the 40s across the central U.S. Towards the southern U.S., you're still going to be in the 50s. Along the Gulf Coast, you're still going to be in the 70s. But you're still going to be in the freezing temperatures for the north central, the upper Midwest. And your wind chills, once again, is what's going to carry in the feels like a little bit more as you go through Sunday. After this, it should move towards the northeast a little bit, then start retracting back. Then we're going to go on another big warm-up and probably to stay. So here we are on the live look, and you can see we do have our tornado watch area. We also have some winds that's passing through right now for New Mexico, 60 miles per hour winds pushing through for y'all. Plus, you can see we also have the hail being reported as we get into severe thunderstorms passing through. That's what all those are. And they are some pretty strong cells if you look at them. It's like, wow, that's some pretty strong storm cells right there as that pushes through, even bringing some damaging winds with that. 1-inch hail, 60 miles per hour wind gusts coming with those. It's a lot of storm cells. Look at all these storm cells pushing through right now. Then they all got about 1-inch hail, 50 miles per hour wind gusts. 60 on that one. So just be aware you still have these strong storms pushing through. But once they push through, you're going to be done. Everything else is going to be more central in the U.S. So you still got all these pushing through, and you got your hail reports that's coming through. So far, they're all 1-inch hail and less. But still, 1-inch hail is big enough to do some damage. So just be aware of that, everybody. You do have some strong storms pushing through right now, all the way to southern New Jersey. Look at that. So you got some nasty little storms pushing through tonight, and you can see pretty much don't have anything going on super severe compared to what we're expected just in a few hours. But you can see the trough coming in. You can see this pushing north. And as soon as those winds kick in, it's going to change everything. Thank you again for your time, everybody. I hope this has helped you. If it has, consider leaving a like. Consider hitting that share button down below and pass this on to others. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you again early in the morning to do an update video on these storms. They have not moved places pretty much all day long, so it looks like it's pretty set in stone for the night. Now, before you go real quick, John 16, verse 33. This is Jesus speaking. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Amen. That is such a great line right there. Put all your faith in Jesus. He has won the good fight already. All we got to do is have faith in him and just believe. It's that easy. I wish the best for every single one of y'all. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe. You, your family, your friends, your neighbors, everyone that you touch. And forever. Amen. Amen, Lord. Please come, for it is getting crazy all around.